I told you I needed to practice. Ugh, how'd you get here? Doesn't he know Drake just dropped an album, and it was definitely an album? So when you listen to music, what are you doing? I assume you're probably doing some kind of thing, right? Maybe standing there, crying, battling the demons. I think it's a common thing that when you're listening to something, you're usually doing something, right? Like if you're walking, cooking, at the gym, digging up the body, driving, like you need something to soundtrack your exciting life. I think everyone does this. I mean, you probably do it. Maybe you're one of those peeps that, depending on what you're doing, either listen to an album or just like a couple of songs or maybe a playlist. If I'm doing something for a long period, then I'll probably put on an album, but if it's like light work, no reaction, then it's a playlist flex. And if I'm doing nothing, then it's either something completely chill or I completely unplug and listen to the sweet sounds of my local neighborhood.
Guys, is this Freddy Fazbear?
Sometimes if I really want to focus on lyrics or the elements in a song or whatever, then I'll stop and lock in for a bit, but it's never like, oh boy, 5 p.m. music chamber time. For the most part, if you're listening to something, you're doing something. That's normal. I think that's normal, and there's probably a ton of reasons for it. I have some ideas. Maybe I just want to feel something that's not nothing, because it just works, right? I don't know, keeps your brain stimulated, helps you focus, gets you calm. I don't need the app. Hell, she did it while studying for like 7 years, and when she finally finished, it was a fucking ad for some YouTube rewind thing. Everyone does it. Except for you. One thing I saw in my last video like this was the part about listening to stuff while on a walk, which, side note, apparently I saw a turkey vulture today. I've never seen this bird in my life. What the even is this thing? Anyways, most of you guys in the comments, amazing place. You got it, you know? Listening to things can be taxing, so you do other stuff to make it easier. But I also saw every now and then some people were like, it's not that hard. Skill issue. Ugh, it's these guys again. Listen, it's not for you. You're just riding the wave. It's them and the others. The deep audiophiles. The people who are just the opposite while listening to something. Going Kirby Stone mode and new or old. They wait for the right moment. They treat listening to stuff like a ritual. Again, if you want to focus on lyrics and stuff, I get that, but with some things, it's not that deep. I only bring this up because that advances to level 2. You get your own space with the biggest and expensive setups. Listen, I know you, okay? I know you. If you could just sit in one of those sensory deprivation chambers or whatever, the ones with the slants, and throw on some Tame Impala or something, they do it. And they want you to do it too, which, by the way, if you didn't know, Tame Impala is just one guy, but I never got that because there's so many ways of listening to music. You don't have to do it in like a specific way or wait till the moon hits a certain angle. Is Miley Cyrus gonna kill me if I heard her song on the mall speakers before hearing it alone in my study? Uh-oh. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't need the most expensive setup in the world if you want to listen to something or to enjoy your music collection if you have one. Sure, it helps, it sounds different, maybe preserves stuff easier, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to enjoy your stuff a better way. Just know it's not necessary. You watch Dank Pods, you know. Same sentiment applies with getting into new artists. The worst is when they tell you you did it in the wrong order. Shout out Parco. Just cause Slob on my knob 64 plus 5 is telling you need it doesn't mean you gotta do it. 8D audio is not real. I'm sorry to break it to you, Josh. Because again, this stuff is overwhelming. A lot of you guys say listening to stuff and trying to go out of your comfort zone feels like a chore sometimes. It's spooky. You don't want to do it. It also doesn't help if you have a mountain of stuff you maybe want to get to at some point and you just want to get through that. Again, it's the same with like games or movies. Anything to help you get over that hump and just dip your toe in is a start. It beats waiting for my Cinderella moment. At least for me. Now, before you ask, do I have an example? The answer is, of course I have an example. Back in high school, there was this short time where I used to go to school early to do like homework that was well past due. If you got there early, you just sit in the cafeteria until school started. I'd use this time to listen to random stuff I found on the internet. Like, I got into Trues this way. Not Tom Cruise, his brother. But yeah, there was one dude who I noticed was doing a similar thing, maybe with podcasts or something, but he would just sit there, full focus on everything he listened to. Like, he wouldn't move. And as soon as 8 o'clock hit, he would just get up and leave like some real NPC shit. Now, before you ask, oh, maybe he was just so clonked out, he was probably sleeping. No! Because one time he looked at me! Either he was a superhero or a psychopath, and I still don't have the answer. Now, what he was doing by itself is not a problem, he's just listening. But there's some people out there that would praise this guy, because I see this thing online sometimes, but not all the time, where people say if you're not fully focusing on listening to something or using the right format, then you're not doing it right. What does that even mean? Like, if you're not enveloping your entire being into listening to a song and you didn't didn't really hear it. You didn't hear the guitar string at 3 minutes and 80 seconds, so we're gonna run it back. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even be listening to this. Start with the beginning of music and then work your way up.
You're in for seeing some good country, because I'm going to show you a lot of this territory where our friends live and where they know the old...
Hey yo, let me enjoy this thing my own way, Brody, back up. Don't let these guys tell you that your order was wrong or you didn't hear it right or whatever, unless you didn't. Then clean them ears. Now, if you're getting into something and you just want some guidance from someone who's already in it, asking friends or whatever, then like that's different, you know? Ask around. My friends got me into stuff going a certain way, and I get asked how to get into stuff all the time. And you know, some people, and this might sound crazy, but some people, they don't got all the time in the world to just sit and do nothing while listening to something. And they definitely don't have $11,000 to spend on that turntable with the bezels that says you were not a mistake before playing it. Some people just want to be in the loop or don't got the best equipment and don't want to worry about what order to listen to it in. And some people want to hear their stuff the best way and have a good experience. That's fine. I promise all of you, the artist does not care. They're getting paid regardless. Again, it's a very deep rabbit hole. My dude is still not back. It's been like, what, 3 weeks? So yeah, I just wanted to make this video really cause nobody watched the last one, which sucks because I really liked it. And the last video like this went breezy. So I'm going for round 2. Was this a storytime video? No, I didn't tell a story this time. Wait, no, the podcast guy. Fuck!